Lady Jenn D describes herself as a visual DJ, blending imagery and text to craft imaginative visual realms. Tonight, we discuss her art and upcoming exhibitions.
Thank you, Jennifer, or as I should say, Lady Jenn D. I love that name. Thank you for joining me tonight to talk more about your art. So I want to start. How did you break down the name?
Well, that was given to me by my husband. I think it was before we got married, and he said, "You are Lady Jenn Diesel because you're a tough lady," which is really weird because I'm really not. So my last name is also DeSantis. I am not related to Ron DeSantis.
I know we were gonna have to clear that up.
I always just have to preface it. I did make sure to make sure that is
I
true.
looked into my history. And
Yes, I definitely did. And so yeah, that's where it came from. My awesome husband, and it stuck. It makes sense. And so yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's seeing something in you that you're not seeing in yourself. Would you feel that's how you feel
Yeah,
about
because
your
he's
art?
my twin flame.
He's my twin flame. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
And yeah, definitely with the art, like when I'm creating art, I look at it when I'm done and I'm like, oh, that makes sense, or oh, that's what I have to work on. It's either epiphanatical, it's healing in some sort of way. Like
And
that.
I like the fact that you could call yourself an artist, but you are a visual DJ.
Yeah.
Is how you put it. So explain how that came into play.
That came into play a few years ago. People really don't know what collage is.
Yeah.
The general consensus is like, I've done a vision board. And I'm like, that's great. That technically is collage. And it's more considered a craft. Like, people associate it like, oh, decoupage. They'll know decoupage, but not really understand collage. So I was kind of like, how can I explain this? Well, everybody knows and loves music. So I just had the notion one day that like, oh, I'm a visual DJ. Just like a DJ remixes sounds to create songs, I remix images and sometimes words to create imaginative visual realms. And it's a great icebreaker. It really does help people get it. And it puts collage into a context of an art form rather than a craft, I think. So
being that you are here in New Mexico, how does that play into inspiring this art?
We moved here about 8 years ago from the Deep South, from Atlanta, Georgia, and the environment is remarkably different in all the ways.
Yes,
and,
it is.
I have been inspired by the Southwestern palette. There's nothing like our sky, and then the contrast with all of the rusts and the browns and things like that. Like, it's just such a beautiful contrast. So the desert landscape being new to me was really inspiring. So I've begun to add, since I moved here, I've begun to add like cacti in my work and hummingbirds in a lot of my art collage, and a lot of my collages, and different elements of New Mexico, sometimes roadrunners if I can find one, sunflowers, so definitely just the landscape itself is truly inspiring.
And I am looking at this right here. You're wearing your art. So is all of your art, I know that it's working with collage, do you for instance, is this just a print that you created that went on fabric, or was it created? Do you
so
just use
this
different
was an
mediums?
original. This was a hand cut and pasted collage on a wood panel, which is really common for my original art. And I photograph all my work and then I digitally edit it. And there's so many options for artists as far as like how can we reach people that are too intimidated to buy original art, can't afford it. Like, I'm one of those people. And so there was an opportunity that presented itself to put your art on clothing, and that's really evolved. So one of the first designs I did like on my own, I had a Society 6 shop. That was a little different. This I use Printful.com, and I'm able to really control the design completely. And so the t-shirt dresses are how this all started.
And I know that your art kind of landed at Mothership alumni. So there are quite a few galleries. What
Yeah.
was it about this one that spoke to you?
Honestly, like I've just been downtown the entire time I've lived here, and when I first moved here, I was asked to help activate OT Circus Gallery, and that's how I met Joel and Steph, who run the Mothership alumni. So we've known each other for several years, and I started exhibiting my work in his gallery in 2021. 2021, the end of 2021. And time is so weird, right?
Yep.
And so then he had a meeting in December of that year and was like, hey, there's some studio spaces available right at the end of the meeting. And I was like, oh, what's available? And one of the spaces that was available is right next to my friend Sonia Loivano. Oh. And so, yep, I know you know her too.
Yes, I do.
And so it just worked out like really fatefully and just really beautifully. It just flowed really well. And now I've been there for over 2 years, and I've started helping out on Saturdays during our open hours.
Where can people find out more about you?
I have a ton of stuff going on. I'm going to forget something. So ABQ Art Walk is tomorrow.
Yep.
So that's first Friday. I will have my studio open. I open up part of my space to another collage artist. Every other month I have a guest artist that I invite into my space just to share the space and the art walk vibes, and hopefully they can generate some income as well. So that's happening tomorrow, 5 to 9 p.m. Studio number 9, 105 4th Street Southwest. And on the 17th at the Mothership from 12 to 4, music starts around 1. I'm co-hosting Saturday Soundscapes. This will be our second Saturday Soundscape, and I'm working with Joshua Baker, who is known as Residential Life Artist and Rogue Scholar on Instagram.
Very long title.
Yeah, it's got all the handles, and he does like experimental, like synth, moog, moods, and what we're trying to cultivate is like a relaxing, like down tempo, vibey, just like a really kind of like come in and just it's an invitation to immerse yourself in beautiful sounds and beautiful art. Lovely. And we have a couple of guest artisan vendors as well.
Very cool. So where can people see your artwork when it comes online?
You can actually follow me on social media. I'm only on Facebook and Instagram, but everything's easy. It's at LadyJennD, LadyJennD. And then I'm also on the web, LadyJennD.bigcartel.com, which I think somebody so nicely put on the screen.
Yeah. Is it? There it is!
Yeah.
Lady Jenn D, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I appreciate you coming in and sharing more about your art.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to finally meet you.
Yes, I feel the same way. Absolutely.
Yes.
We'll be back.